Austin Butler defeated Harry Styles, Miles Teller to play Elvis in Baz Luhrmann's biopic. In today's video, we are going to discuss how Austin Butler got his Elvis role and how he prepared himself for the big gig. Stay tuned to find out. Baz Luhrmann found his Elvis after a long time of work, after an exhaustive casting search not unlike the one that landed Carey Mulligan, the role of Daisy in Luhrmann's bombastic retelling of The Great Gatsby. It was announced today that Austin Butler will be playing Elvis Presley in Luhrmann's long-developing biopic of the iconic recording artist, performer, and actor. The movie is set up at Warner Brothers and sees Presley's rise and zenith, laying a special focus on his relationship with his manager. Colonel Tom Parker is played by Tom Hanks. The drama delves into their complex dynamic stretching more than 20 years from Presley's rise to fame to his exceptional stardom against the backdrop of the evolving cultural landscape and the loss of innocence in America. Butler was the least famous actor who made the final shortlist, which included Miles Teller, Ansel Elgort, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and One Direction frontman Harry Styles. His most important role to date was as the star of the short-lived fantasy TV adaptation The Shannara Chronicles. He also had roles in shows like Switched at Birth and The Carrie Diaries, but it was his performance on the stage that grabbed Baz Luhrmann's attention. In a statement, Baz Luhrmann said, "I knew I couldn't make this movie if the casting wasn't totally right, and we searched thoroughly for an actor with the skill to evoke the singular natural movement and vocal qualities of this peerless star, but also the inner vulnerability of the artist. Throughout the casting process, it was an appreciation for me to encounter such a huge collection of talent." I had heard about Austin Butler from his standout role opposite Denzel Washington in The Iceman Cometh on Broadway, and through a journey of extended screen testing and music performance workshops, I knew unequivocally that I had found someone who could embody the spirit of one of the world's most iconic musical figures. Baz Luhrmann co-wrote the screenplay with his longtime collaborator Craig Pearce, and Butler will next be seen in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, talking about the recent success of music biopics like Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocketman. One imagines there is a market for an Elvis film, but what excites us is Luhrmann's involvement. The one thing we know is that he cannot make something uninteresting. If you are liking this content so far, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now let's continue. Portraying Elvis in Baz Luhrmann's musical drama was a huge career shift for Austin Butler. While the 30-year-old actor was extremely nervous about taking up the role, Butler commented on his fears in a recent interview, saying that Elvis is so loved and so iconic, you feel a burden playing any human that has actually lived. But with him, it's a weight like he never felt before, and there is a responsibility to his family and also putting his story into context. Austin Butler's adaptation into the King of Rock and Roll demanded great preparation. In his interview, Austin Butler disclosed that he gave 2 years of his life to preparing for the iconic role. According to Butler, preparing for 2 years helped a lot, so by the time he got on set, he was pretty clear about what he was doing. Elvis Presley is popular for his provocative movements and dramatic performance style. To imitate Elvis Presley's iconic style, Butler worked with movement coach Polly Bennett before filming and then all the way through the shoot. According to Butler, working with a movement coach helped him not only to move the way Elvis did, but to realize what makes a person move in the way they do. Austin Butler also wanted input from Elvis's former wife, Priscilla Presley, to confirm an accurate portrayal of the rock and roll legend. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood actor recently disclosed that he met Priscilla before they started filming. Then getting to see her after she'd seen the movie, it was quite moving to him. He was so nervous when she was going to watch the movie because she knows him better than anybody. Apart from moving like Elvis, Austin Butler was also required to learn how to sing like the iconic rock and roll legend. Butler disclosed that delving into Presley's whole musical catalog was the first step in achieving this monumental task. Butler also took time to listen to the way that Elvis used his voice while singing and noticed how his sound evolved over time. Austin Butler also talked about the borderline impossible task of copying Presley's unique singing voice. In his interview with the Social TV, Butler commented on his relentless efforts to reproduce Elvis's unique sound, saying he would have a specific song that he knew he needed to work